This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome, everyone. Good evening. Tonight, our topic for the workshop is adapting to the new reality, or you can say adjusting to the new reality. So we have Natesha Giles with us as our presenter. I'm just going to introduce Natesha to everyone. She was the only child born in Guyana and in her family. And she taught Sunday school in church for over 10 years. And she realized that she really wanted to work with youth and children. So she did her ECE, early child care education, and then realized she wanted to switch to more of work with youth instead of younger children. So she started her child and youth community worker experience in Vancouver, in the Vancouver Career College in 2018. And after that, she moved back to Toronto and stayed with her mom and got connected to take the program as youth and families addiction recovery support. So definitely you can see she is passionate about helping others to improve their mental health. And so without further ado, here's Natesha, everyone.
Hi, hello, hi. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, let's just jump right into it, I guess. My topic is, let's do this first. So when you go on the Healing Connections website, if you would like to connect with Healing Connections, there is a way that you can book a session as well as take a general questionnaire. And you can connect to one of our counselors if you feel the need to. So my topic today is adjusting to new reality. What we're going to be talking about is the importance of adaptability, the difficulties in adapting, how to adjust to cultural and social norms, and then a little bit on mental health and adjustment and how to take care of ourselves. So, open question. What do you consider to be a new reality? Meaning, like, what is our new social reality and what are we going through right now as a society that is considered new? Maybe just look back a few years or even last week or even this week. What is new considered to be a new reality?
That's a very good question. Like every with the pandemic situation, so every day feels like it's a new reality. The rules are always changing. So like I'm sure lots of people in our group here, just in this space, would have different reality to each one of us. Anyone, Sean, would you like to share what's your new reality these days?
Oh, I know what's yours is, Sean.
Sure. So
I'm
adjusting to a new reality. Thanks. Yeah. You know, ever since COVID-19, we've all been adjusting to a new reality. And for me, it's not seeing friends and it's not being as social. So I've got to learn, other ways to stay social. So whether it's, attending meetings online or it's, more social media, it's going to the gym now and I'm speaking to people at the gym. But until recently, I've had a problem just not socializing. So I've noticed some effects from not socializing, like a little more withdrawn when I do have conversations with people. So I'm just sort of keeping on top of that. I'm not sure if that quite fits in, but I believe that to be sort of something that I'm dealing with.
I feel like everyone has their own version of like what their new reality is right now. For me, it would be finishing my placement and then going into the workforce as a counselor, because it's like, yes, I've been working since I was like 17, but customer service compared to being a counselor, like helping people with their mental health, helping people with addiction and whatnot, it's that's going to be my new reality in like the coming months. Some examples that I'm going to give you are students adjusting to their new environment, because the students are now going back to school, right? They're not on their computers anymore, or some of them are doing like the half and half thing. The new job, new home, new living location, new country. Can you imagine? I was thinking about, while I was reading through this again, I was thinking about like the whole war right now with Ukraine and Russia, and all those people from Ukraine, like moving, like they have to adjust right now with what's going on in their country. And it's like, that's all you're seeing on the news. And it's crazy that like this is the time that we're living in.
Yes.
Loved ones dying,
3 million.
breakup. Yeah, it's I had to turn off the TV the other day because it drove me up the wall. It made me so, anxious. Culture shock. That's something that's a new reality to someone coming from somewhere that's their home. I always think about the international students when they come to Canada or anywhere from home. It's like they come by themselves. I have a coworker that she came here and lived with her husband, and going to school and then living with a whole new family. It was so different for her living with her family compared to living with his family, just because of like the different upbringings, So like now she has to cope with living with her new reality, which was so interesting to have a conversation with her to see that, yes, you may grow up in the same culture, but your families may be different. So it's like you have to adjust to just being with different people, I guess. And culture shock can occur when people move to a new country or city, or even when you go on vacation, you need to adjust to like the culture there.
Oh yes.
So I'm going to talk about adapting. So adapting is the process or the state of adjusting or changing to become more suited to an environment. Adaptability expands your capacity to handle change. So no matter how serious it can be, instead of throwing away your energy trying to change your circumstances, you will change yourself right from within. That's making you thrive in whatever situation that you're in. Many people spend a great deal of time and energy trying to avoid change, but it will inevitably catch up to them. So it's like, take the change, accept it while it comes, and just like adapt to it. Your relationships will flourish, your body will feel healthier. But if you can't cope with the change, only a minor amount of stress can make you feel extremely overwhelmed with life. So adapting is basically being able to change while you go. Pardon? Just want to say something. Okay. Why do you think people find it difficult adapting? Why do people resist the change? Why do they not want to?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say it's not easy to adapt. Even with now will have the masks off kind of new rule. It would be another new thing to adapt to, because yeah, you finally got used to, okay, wherever you go, you put your mask on. Before is like when you get out of the car and you need to come back to the car because you forgot to put the mask on. Now it's like, oh, you don't need to put the mask on. But then the mentality wise, you need to adapt to, oh, like, is that really safe to have no mask.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's not easy to adapt. I guess we're kind of we're a creature of habit. Our habits takes time to have a new routine, have a new pattern of living, our behaviors. So I guess that's why it's a bit harder to adapt to new change.
Yeah,
That's-
Delphine in the chat said fear is a reason why that people find it difficult to adapt. People resist the change because they will lose something of value or fear they will not be able to adapt to the new ways. That's a big thing because it's like when you're changing, it's you're taking what is your norm, you know, and throwing something into there that's sometimes it shakes you up and you don't even know how to adapt or how to. It's not saying change. It's not saying change the way you are because something new is coming or because something new is with you. It's just, it's being able to understand that, like, okay, this is what's going on now. This is how I have to deal with this. Rather than this is what's going on. I don't want it. I don't want it. Leave it. Let it stay one side. Let me stay one side. It's a significant change to daily routine, which is deeply emotional because it threatens the level of safety and security. Positive changes like a promotion, birth, or marriage can be just as hard to adapt to. Some do not believe they deserve the good or may not be ready for it. When a good change occurs, accept it with grace. Be able to move forward and get the most out of it and embrace the positivity. If you're with someone who hates change, then you're going to have to tolerate it when it happens. You have to find a way to cope because change is always happening. Every single day, you're changing who you are. You don't even realize it. Yesterday, you woke up one person. Today, you're waking up older. You're waking up smarter. Well, I'm hoping you're waking up smarter because if you're not changing with the day and if you're not growing within yourself, then that shows that you can't even adapt to yourself. You know, it's like, take the change as it comes. It's like something's always happening in your life. And the fact that we don't know what's coming, I feel like that brings a lot of fear. It brings a lot of stress, but at the same time, be ready for it. You know that change is inevitable. Change will always happen. Like nothing is stable. Just be able to adapt to it. So how do you stay true to yourself when changes come? How do you be you, even though something is coming and you don't know what's coming, but you know change is coming? How do you stay yourself? I'm gonna tell you how, because I have 8 points. So the first one is learn as much as you can about your new environment. So if you're moving into a new place, if you're going into a new job, let's use that one. If you're going into a new job, first, before you even go into your interview, research that job. Know what they're giving before you enter into that job. Same thing with going into a new school. Learn the environment of where that school is. Even knowing where the closest food place is can make you feel comfortable. Because truthfully, even if you know that, okay, this is where I'm going, and 3 minutes away walk is my favorite food place that I can have, or 3 minutes away is a Tim Hortons, I can still have my morning coffee and go to where I need to go. You still keep your routine then, right? Decide what qualities you want to be known for when you go into a new space. Be polite to everyone. And on the first day of your new job, ask people where you can go to eat. Because even if you ask somebody where you can go to eat, they might even invite you to go with them. So then you're just making a friend at that point. Where you can, like, when you make that friend, you can listen to opportunities to connect with others in that same environment that you're in. Don't take things personally when you're in a new environment, because people don't know you. You're going in as you, and they're seeing you as somebody new, which is fine, because at the end of the day, You know who you are, so you're coming as yourself. You're coming as yourself, adjusting to their environment. They are seeing you as someone new coming into their environment. So it's on both ends. Everybody needs to adjust to be able to, at the end of the day, work together. If you're in a new city, province, or country, get out and go exploring. Try the new foods, feel your way around. I love that Toronto has a transit system that can literally take you anywhere. Like one Presto pass, you can travel downtown and back. You know, take a day to explore your surroundings. What happens to our mental health when we're adjusting? How do we adjust with our mental health? Like where does our mental health stand when we're going into somewhere new, when we're dealing with a new situation, when we're dealing with somebody new in a new relationship? I know for me personally, going into a new relationship was the hardest thing ever, because it's like coming out of a relationship to go into a new one. It's like, okay, am I still that same person I was in that past relationship? Or the person I am now, is that person going to flourish in this new relationship? I feel like when I was going from one relationship to another, because I knew myself more in that space between going from one to another, I felt that, I don't know how to put this. I felt like it was harder. I felt like it was harder because I knew myself, because I was like, I know this is not what I want. This is not what I want. This is not what I want, but this is what I want. But then it's like, knowing myself made me learn that I have to adjust with what that person's coming with. I can't just say this is what I want and expect it to happen. So it definitely took a toll on my mental health, because it was like I was thinking a lot about me, and rather than thinking about how the situation can work out better for both of us. Does anybody want to touch on this one? About your mental health and adjusting?
Yeah, that's a great question. So maybe we can have a little bit of interaction or interactive engagement here. So great seeing Sofika's name here. Sofika, you definitely adjusting to your new motherhood. So how's that going?
Hi everyone. Well, if I don't take care of my mental health, I can't be able to take care of my child. So I have to spend some time and do self-care or think positively when I feel overwhelmed, to make sure that I'm competent and comfortable in my own self to do what I have to do for my child.
Mm-hmm. How is your baby? She's like a month old.
Yeah, she's a month and 2 weeks now. I'm actually taking care of her right now that I heard my names.
Oh.
But yeah,
That's
I'm here
so cool.
adjusting.
Adjusting. Perfect answer.
Yeah. Adjusting to the new journey in life, different stage, need different kind of strategies to adjust. So maybe we can see anyone else like to share what they're adjusting in their at this stage of their life. Stephanie, do you have anything you want to share what you are trying to adjust to?
No, not tonight.
No, okay.
So I'll just continue.
Linda, maybe we can have a Linda. Only one more person, just see if they like to share anything.
Well, I don't have any major life changes going on right now. But what I do find is the new reality with regards to COVID. I am feeling more comfortable. I'm not ready to embrace everything yet, like large crowds, but I find my adjustment is waiting for some people that are more cautious than I am to come out and be more social. So in order to cope with that, I've had to learn how to be more content being at home and doing some other things on my own. I'm an extrovert, so I tend to like being with other people. So I've also had to embrace Zoom and any opportunity for social through this medium. So, so I've learned how to be happier in my own skin. And at the same time now I'm ready to do more stuff, but I have to wait to others to catch up. That's it.
Wow.
I always wonder about how everyone is doing with this like no mask thing, because I work at a grocery store and my boss said basically that yes, the mandate is going to come where like people don't have to wear their mask anymore, but he is not going to be the one to tell his employees that you shouldn't wear a mask. So if you do want to still keep wearing your mask, you wear your mask. I know for me personally, I don't actually like being around a lot of people. I'm one of those persons where I'm okay if it's just 3 people hanging out, 4 people hanging out. So like when I'm at work, I'm going to keep my mask on because it's already, I don't know, it's even talking about it like raises my anxiety, because it's like, is this COVID thing really done? Was it even really a thing? And like, I don't know. I'm conflicted on it because I know I want to wear my mask. And at the same time, I'm like, if I don't wear my mask, at least I get to put on makeup to go to work. So that's also a little crazy thinking. So in regards to COVID-19, youth have experienced the greatest decline since the pandemic began. The infants born in the pandemic scored lower on average on tests of grow motor, fine motor, and communication skills compared to those that were born before. Those already experiencing poor mental health before COVID-19 were impacted even more by the pandemic, including those from the LGBTQ community. Visible minority groups were more likely than whites to report poor mental health and symptoms consistent with moderate or severe generalized anxiety disorder. So those reporting poor mental health are up to 4 times more likely to report increased substance use since the pandemic began. So I'm gonna give you some tips on how to take care of your mental health in times of adjusting. So take care of yourself by getting plenty of rest, eat well, exercise, avoid excessive alcohol, tobacco, and substance use. Do not indulge in too much sugar and not enough sleep. You want to be alert, refreshed, and ready to go. Talk about the problem more than the feelings. Instead of thinking you need to work through the anger and frustration, talk about what is making you feel that, because talking about the feelings hinder the natural adaptation process. Figure out how the problem can be solved. It's not saying to suck it up, just call out your anxiety and anger and be able to problem solve practically. You can adapt to a new reality by being flexible and willing to adjust to the changes as you transition as well. Sometimes we plan things and how we want them to go. However, it's important to keep in mind that things don't always go as planned. We must have the willingness to adjust and see the brighter side of things. Don't stress about stressing out. I don't know how many times I have to say this to myself, Don't stress about stressing out, because it's like, you know, you're going to stress, but don't stress about that stress that's not even hitting you yet. When you start to feel stress, ask yourself what your stress is trying to help you accomplish. Is it trying to help you empathize with a colleague or a customer, or is it stress trying to help you successfully exit a toxic situation? Monitor the signs of stress, depression, and other mental illnesses. Pay attention to yourself. Focus on your values instead of your fears. Oh, I just lost where I was. Sorry. Yes. Family, friends, religious convictions, scientific achievements, even music can be a good buffer in our troubled times. Take time to write down your own personal values that hold a positive effect on you. Journaling is, I don't really journal, but I know a lot of people who do journal, and it helps them a lot to put their thoughts on paper, to be able to reflect and see what they're going through rather than just feel it. You can adjust a new reality by having someone to motivate you. This person can also be your confidant, your go-to, which will allow you to have an avenue to express your true emotions and vent. Don't expect stability. Do what you can to just roll with it. Is there anything that I mentioned? Is there anything that I didn't mention that anyone else can think about on tips that they would give out to someone to help them with their mental health during adjusting? Think about a friend that you've had, that something's come up in their life. What did you tell them? How did you help them?
Yeah, this is another great question. Maybe we can ask a few of us to just engage a little bit. Andy, do you have anything on your mind you'd like to share as tips to help with better mental health?
I guess as a student myself, I'll say to look at things from the positive side and always be optimistic about your life and your goals. Yeah, just stay positive overall and have a good mindset.
Yeah, the
Sofika,
positive mindset.
Sofika basically said the same thing in the chat. She said to think about the brighter picture, positive thinking. That's a good one. Linda also said having a good friend or mentor who can listen and empathize with no judgment. Yep.
Did anyone say exercise?
Exercise. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Meditation.
Pardon?
Yeah, good job.
Meditation.
Yeah, Aliyah said.
Yeah,
Aliyah said.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
So, we're getting more. Treating yourself to something you like, create meaningful connection.
That's very good.
Thank you, everyone. So, life can be difficult to navigate in a fast-moving society. Things are changing so quickly these days that by the time you've opened up a box to your new cell phone, it's probably already old. Learning at your own pace to deal with the changes going on around you is a great survival tool. So just go with the flow, basically. That wraps up my workshop today. Is there anything that anyone wants to share that they've learned that they didn't know before about adjusting?
Oh, can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aliyah.
Yeah. It's living, how do you say, living for the moment?
Yeah. Living for the moment.
Stay grounded.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Correct. Thank you. Yeah.
That was like the one thing I learned while preparing this presentation, is to go with the flow. It's definitely harder to do than it is to say. Sofika said, I learned that change is consistent. It's constant, sorry. Yes, change is always happening. You never know when it's gonna come. You have to, Sofika said you have to adjust. Yeah. So when you can't change the direction of the wind, adjust your sail. Yes, Sofika, be flexible. And that ends off my presentation today, my workshop. Again, if you want to connect with Healing Connection, just go to www.healingconnectionhc.com. You can also connect with us on YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, and that's the end of it today. Thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for participating.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Natesha.
Thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you. Thank you.
For joining us.
Thank you.
And do I have Liana in the Zoom now? Oh, Liana is there. Okay. So I'm just going to bring Liana to everyone's attention. So Liana will be our presenter for next Tuesday night. So she's an author and she wrote a few children's book and she's in Vancouver. So just briefly, maybe Liana, you want to say a few words why you like to write a children's book, what brought you to this new journey of being an author?
Thank you, Angela. First and foremost, I guess, is the fact that I suffer from depression and mental illness. And next week I get to talk about my story about the story and how my journey has led me to write children's books. If that helps.
Yeah, definitely. So look forward to hear more from you for next Tuesday night. And then after Tuesday night, Friday night, for next week's Friday night, we'll have Faisal as our presenter. Is Faisal still in the group?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay, so Faisal, are you available to just show your presence a bit? Okay, so I guess Faisal is not available right now. I guess he is not able to turn on his mic. So yeah, so we have after this month, we're going to take a few weeks break, and then so April will be maybe once a month workshop being available. We'll have guest speaker to present good topic to the group. So for the month of April, we'll just have one workshop. And then the date and the topic, the presenter will be announced by the end of March. So looking forward to seeing you next Tuesday with Liana as our speaker. So have a great evening. So keep on checking our either Instagram or calendar online. Then you will see more of the updated topic and the workshop information. So, and yeah, so thank you so much everyone for being with us tonight, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Benita.
Great presentation. Lots of good information this evening.
Thank you,
Bye.
Angela.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you,
Good night.
Angela.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.